Okay, we are going to begin Chapter 6, Lesson 1, Solving One-Step Addition and Subtraction Equations. And we've already been working with these algebra tiles today. So I'd like you to open your textbook to page 437. And you can pause this for a minute if you need to. And there's not a whole lot of space on 437. So if you need to look at the previous page, 436, there's some white space. I'd like you to write this example along with me. So I set up this problem, and notice it's an equation mat, so it's showing that this side has to equal this side. So with your pen in that open space, we're going to write an expression for this. So it looks like it's x, and then we are adding 3 because there's 3 positives, equal to, and this side is 2, 4, 6, 8. So here's our equation. Now what we've been doing with our algebra tiles is we've realized that to solve this equation, we need these 3 here to disappear so that our answer is just x equals something, because our goal is to figure out what's in x. So with our algebra tiles, we did this process, which was essentially we were adding 3 negatives. And what we do to one side, you have to do to the other side, otherwise your balance is not equal. So what we're going to add here is we did this with our algebra tiles so that all of these would cross out, but we're going to figure out how are we going to show this algebraically. So with our equation here, what would we write to show that we're adding 3 negatives to this side? So what we're going to do is right underneath this, we are going to show adding 3 negatives just like that. And on this side, we're going to show adding 3 negatives. It's very important that you show both of these steps. I know it's very elementary at first, but it's going to get much more difficult, so it's important to show that. Then I'm going to require that you circle the 0 pair. When I say 0 pair, we're looking at 2 things that are opposites that zero out. Because if you circle these 2 things and you don't have opposites, then you added or subtracted the wrong value. So 3 plus negative 3 zeroes out. If you want to draw a line and bring everything down, left on this side is x equal to 5. And notice our algebra tiles support our answer that 1x equals 5 ones. So this is the written work that I'm going to be wanting you to show. So if you now look at the previous page, how do I get back to the pointer here? If you look back to the previous page, on page 437, it looks like this. So an equation is a sentence stating that 2 quantities are equal. The value of a variable that makes an equation true is called the solution. So here we've got the problem x plus 2 equals 6. And notice that they are taking away 2 from this side. They have to take away 2 from that side. That's called the subtraction property of equality. What you do to one side of the equation, you have to do to the other. So as you can see, this is how we are working to show it algebraically. Ideally, I would like you guys to then circle the 0 pair, because you need to mentally make sure that those are truly opposites, cross them out, and you get x equals 4. Because this is equal and the original equation are equal, the original equation and the solution are called equivalent equations. That means they are exactly the same. They mean the same. Okay, take just a minute to circle the equations below that are equivalent to x equals 3. Once you've got that done, you can start the video again. Okay, take a minute to read the real world link and do it. And when you're finished, start the video again. I will be checking to see that you've got both of these done. Okay, turn the page. And at the top of the next page is exactly what we talked about. It's called the subtraction property of equality. And it's just like in real life. Your mom goes to the store, she brings something home. It would not be very nice for her to do something to one side, one child, and not the other. So we want to be equal. So if you think of an equation, think of the equal sign as dividing the family into two people. Here's you, here's your little brother. Okay? So mom comes home from the store and she gives something to you. She gives you a -4. If she doesn't also give it to your little brother, they're going to say life's not fair. So the subtraction property of equality says that in an equation, if you subtract the same number from both sides of the equal sign, the equation is still equal. So notice that I chose to subtract 4 so that those would cancel, and I get the solution x equals 12 minus 4 is 8. Okay, with your pencil here, can you go through example 1? And we want to verify and circle the 0 pair. We want to decide, did they really add the opposite? Do those 0 out? Notice in red, they subtracted 6 from both sides and get your solution. Okay, notice in example 2 that sometimes the variable and the number are on the right side of the equation, but that's okay. We still want to solve for b. So what we have to get rid of is this positive 8. So we subtract 8. So make sure you're circling those. What you subtract to one side, you have to subtract to the other, and you get b is 13. Okay, please pause the video and do A, B, and C in this workspace, and this is what I would expect to see. I want to see what you're subtracting from both sides. I want to see your 0 pair circled and crossed out, and then I want to see your solution, y equals 3. I lost my pen here. Okay, so it should say y equals 3. So please do A, B, and C, and then start the video again. Okay, top of the next page, we're going to kind of start looking at some word problems. So an angelfish can grow to be 12 inches long. If an angelfish is 8.5 inches longer than a clownfish, how long is a clownfish? Okay, so I notice this is a comparison, so let's try to do our bar model. We have angel and we have clown. An angelfish can grow to be 12 inches long if an angelfish is 8.5 inches longer than a clownfish. So whose bar has to be longer? Okay, so an angelfish is 8.5 inches longer than a clownfish. So we're going to show right here is 8.5. Sorry, that should say 8.5. This is what we don't know. And it says an angelfish can grow to be 12 inches long. So in our picture here, where should we put 12? Does it say that together both the fish are 12 inches long? No, doesn't say that. It says only the angelfish part. So we're going to label this to be 12 right up here. Does that make sense? And now we're going to turn this into an equation. This says that x plus 8.5 equals 12. Okay, so if you look at that, that's what we get. When you subtract, you get 3.5. Okay, please read the addition property of equality. And all that means is that you can add the same number to both sides and it will still be equal. So at the bottom of the page, I want you to show your work just like before on E, F, and G by adding 3 to both sides. And when you're finished, show me your book.